Hey, my Legion. How you all doing today? With John and I watching the new Hellraiser reboot or reimagine, whatever you want to call it, on Hulu, I was saying maybe I should, Saturday night, I said maybe I should do like a franchise video. I mean, I think I might have done that last time, but maybe an updated franchise thing. I told him there was 11 movies, right? And he said, I think he said in the video, I don't remember. He said he saw like the first 5. And he heard everything else was crap, so he didn't watch any of them until the new one. And then he said he only liked 1, 2, and 5. He didn't like 3 and 4. But I'm here to tell you my ranking from worst to best. And including like running times and stuff like that. And like my personal history of some of these movies, right? Okay. Now this is my Hellraiser franchise rank. Now, the one thing is, a lot of these movies are like in-name only sequels. That's a term I found out about from Fangoria. Because they used to complain about, I mean, back whenever the video age was booming, like the 80s and early 90s, you saw like some horror movie franchise that had like in-name only sequels and stuff like that just released to the video market. Prime examples were The Howling, the biggest example, right? And then Silent Night, Deadly Night, and The Curse. But The Curse is, I think there's only, I saw 3 of the Curse movies. I think there's a 4th one. I never saw the 4th one. I gotta see if there is a 4th one and then try to find it and watch it. But I did see one of the Howling sequels in the theater, in the military theater, the Howling 3, the marsupials. And people are booing the screen. But I digress. Let me talk about the Hellraiser movies and their in-name only sequels for the most part. Okay, at number very last, very last one is Hellraiser Judgment. That's the one that came out 2018. I saw it on Netflix. It was 87 minutes. I didn't care about, they had like guys, the auditor that would like type out your sins and eat them and throw them up. Then they'd get prepared and these women would lick you all over the place, like these old hags and stuff. I didn't really care for it. It was just boring, and the police investigation was boring. Because a lot of these involve around a police investigation. A lot of stuff's boring as hell. It really is. Very last place. Doug Bradley's not in this one either. But I think they said it was made by, in 2018 for them to retain their rights. Next one is Debtor. Now, Debtor came out in 2005. It was made back-to-back with Hellworld. Well, I mean, I guess they said Debtor was made like 3 years back. And then Hellworld was made in 2005, but they were released at the same time. And now these were 2 movies that really were different movies, retooled into becoming like the Hellraiser movie with Doug Bradley's Pinhead being in it somewhat. Now I remember reading about it in Rue Morgue, saying they were released simultaneously, and they didn't like Debtor, but they said Hellworld was pretty good. They're the only person I ever met that said Hellworld was good. Lance Henriksen's in it though, that's cool. But no, 7 was Debtor. The worst title and very boring. I mean, it involved around a cult and addiction and stuff. And it just didn't do anything for me. It was just boring. It just dragged. It kind of gave me a headache a little bit. I didn't care for that one. Next one on the list is Revelations. Now, I mean, now these the last 4 movies I have can be interchangeable and stuff like that. The next one's Revelations. That came out in 2011. And that was just pretty made just to keep the rights to the Hellraiser movies, again. And it was rushed. It was made in like a month. Well, they took like a month to get everything ready to make it. And Doug Bradley, this is the first one, he said he refused to be in it, right? And this one was, the most thankful thing is the shortest of the movies, right? I did buy this. It was 75 minutes. It cost me $7.50, so it was like a penny a minute. I didn't really care for it at all. But I mean, I liked it more than I liked Judgment or Debtor. But I mean, the one saving grace with it was the shortest of the series, right? Next is Hellworld. And I thought it was going to be good the way that Rumor hyped it up, but I mean, it was just disappointing. But now these are the worst of the four of the Hellraiser movies right here. They're all interchangeable. Let me think. Next is the movie, the Hellraiser Hellseeker. Now that's on record as having the worst photo of Pinhead ever. That's the worst cover art I've ever seen. And it's the last movie of Hellraiser movie I ever rented on VHS. Came out 2002, and they had that guy that played Mayhem on the insurance commercials. He's a real scumbag, and then, I don't know, it's a thing of redemption and stuff. Now I will say, most of these movies I've only seen once, right? Except, I mean, I saw, not talking about the new one I've seen once, but like, parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 I've seen more than once. Everything else I've only seen once. Hellseeker is the one I might be interested in seeing a second time, maybe. But it had good production values and stuff like that in there, though. But this is one that was written and I guess retooled into being a Hellraiser movie. Next is Inferno. Now, Inferno was the very first direct-to-video Hellraiser movie. Everything else was released theatrically. And I thought it was pretty decent and stuff like that. I was a little bit disappointed, but I mean, now the director said it was meant to be a Hellraiser movie. It was not like retooled into being a Hellraiser movie. This was supposed to be a Hellraiser movie, but with a different flair to it. And most people do like Inferno. So that's the next one. And then the next one is Hellraiser Hell on Earth. Now, this came out in 92. I didn't even know it came out. Because I was out of the Army for a little bit. I remember my friend, I used to do business with a friend, Sean Smith from Black Shark Media. And they used like tape trading and stuff like that. He had a great print of Japanese Laserdisc. I never knew the movie came out, so I got that off him. I thought it was pretty good, even though I thought the Cenobites were kind of lame in this one. They died too easily. But still, it was alright for what it was. Next would be Hellraiser Bloodline. Now, Hellraiser Bloodline has a certain place in my heart. I love the idea of like showing all the like the 3 parts in time with puzzle boxes and stuff like that. And also was the one that they say Hellraiser in Space. Now I don't know if that came out the same time as Leprechaun in Space, Leprechaun 4 in Space or not. But I thought it being in space was cool. I liked it. The director said he originally had it planned to be like a 3-hour movie. And it had all this all this really incredible stuff in there that couldn't be done due to budgetary constraints. And also, you know, a lot of the time, this is like company interference from Dimension, right? Or Miramax, what do you want to say? Miramax, Dimension, same thing. And they cut it down to like 85 minutes. It's still good, but I mean, you know, I have a certain place in my heart for this one. I know a lot of people hate it. Now, I do remember it did play, I did see commercials for this, and it did play at the Mill Creek 6. Mill Creek 3. They used to have 3 theaters inside the Mill Creek Mall. I think I got rid of that in 97 or something like that. I did play there for like a week. I didn't see it, though, in the theater stuff. But I do like the movie. Next would be the new Hellraiser movie. Streaming on Hulu, the very first one that I'll be on the streaming network I saw. And it was very entertaining. They had like a more faithful to the novel, having like a female type Pinhead or like a protagonist, right? You know, and it was really good and entertaining. The longest one of the series, though, being over 2 hours. No Hellraiser even came close to being 2 hours long. Usually it's about like 95 minutes. Now, the next 2 were difficult for me because I always thought the second one was better. And I did watch the first one again on Netflix, right? But in second place, I will put the second one. Now, whenever I was in Fort Detrick, Maryland, right? They had so many commercials. I mean, so many trailers for this movie. I wanted to see it really bad. I went to Germany. I mean, it's a weird thing about being in the Army and stuff. You miss stuff like this, right? I went to Germany. I was like, whatever happened to Hellraiser 2? And this one guy said he had a copy of it. So me and my roommate watched both the first one and the second one. And it was weird because we were shift workers that we kept falling asleep. Eventually we finally saw the whole thing on a day that we did, on a regular day with no work. And we loved it. The second one was great. I really was saying like the second one's the best. But after watching the first one's the best. Because, we never saw like effects like that before. Now I have a story. I remember seeing a bunch of trailers for the movie. It played in theaters right around the time I had to go to basic training, right? Now, in basic training in Fort Jackson, I was there for like... I went there like 2 days before Thanksgiving. This is back in '87, right? And I was there for like 5 weeks. And then they said they were going to shut down posts around Christmas time for like 2 weeks, so we had to take leave. I remember taking leave and going to Lampman's, that one, the home video exchange. And then I remember seeing my friend John there. John and I were talking. John said like a certain classmate passed away, which was sad news, right? I told him I was going to get the new Hellraiser movie, and then I rented that one. I rented Witchboard. I rented Easy Money. I never saw that movie. Then I said, why'd you rent that one? Because I'd never seen it before. And I remember staying up all night watching these movies, and then at midnight going to my Aunt Dorothy's, and then they had like late night sloppy joes or chili or something. That stuff was fantastic. I know I say bad thing about it. Sometimes the food was pretty good at Aunt Dorothy's, but but it was a fun time. It was a great memory. But I think the original Hellraiser is the best one of all of them. So I hope you like this franchise ranking of the Hellraiser movies. And until next time, everybody, please take care of my legion. Yiggy. I gotta see where this is at. There you go, go.